Hi class, Mrs. Goodman here. I just wanted to give you a presentation with some resume tips that I've learned over the years that can help you in creating your first resume. Now, you've heard quite a number of tips through the video and other resources that you've already browsed through. Keep in mind with creating your resume, you are going to tailor it to you and what you like. But what you've seen so far are basically industry standards that hiring professionals have come to expect when they receive a resume. With that being said, there are some times in which these tips or rules can be broken, and in this presentation, I'll talk about a few of those times and when it could be beneficial for you as well. So let's start with just a quote. So this is a famous makeup designer, Estee Lauder. And I really like this quote about working for success. The purpose of your resume is to highlight your successes for the hiring manager to see so that they want to learn more about you, and that's what's going to get you in the door for the interview. So my first set of tips for you. When you create a resume, it should be geared towards the job you're applying to, which means that you may need multiple resumes later in your life if you're applying for different types of jobs. So, for instance, applying for a serving job at a restaurant is going to be different than applying for a receptionist job at a law firm. So make sure that you tweak your resume to make sure it fits the job that you're applying for. At the same time, don't lie on your resume. Don't overstate the things that you know, because that's going to put you into a worse situation once you get into the interview. The second tip I have is your email address. While it may be really funny to have an email address like swimgirl2002, that's really not what the hiring manager is going to expect out of a young professional. So what I encourage you to do is either use your school email address, your Lake Highland one, or your college one when you get there, or you can also create a professional email address through Google, Yahoo, and that way that email address can stay with you forever. Also, most people today are going to know how to use the internet, know how to use a computer, know how to use Microsoft Word. So don't put obvious things on your resume. You're going to use the space of your resume to showcase what you can do and what makes you different than the other people that they're looking at to hire. Obviously, read over your resume multiple times, have someone else read over your resume, be open to reviews and redos, because the first thing that a hiring manager will notice is if there's something spelled incorrectly or if something is incorrect with your grammar. At the same time, try to convert your resume to a PDF. This is going to keep the formatting, and you've probably noticed that if you convert from Pages to Word or even through different versions of these programs, oftentimes the formatting will change. You're going to want to use verbs that include doing things. So we call these action words. We want to be painting a picture for the hiring manager. A good way to find some action words that you can use in your resume is through the internet. So I like to use Bloom's taxonomy. That's really geared towards things that you've learned, but it also has some things that you have completed. Here's one of those tips on the do not side that may or may not apply in the future. It's been very typical to have a very standard resume, black and white, that looks very professional. But the world is changing, and so we have seen more resumes that are, I guess, more appealing to the eye in that way, with different fonts and different colors, but always in a tasteful manner, geared towards the job that you're getting. So this really would work well if you're applying for a graphic artist job or something in the digital world where you want to showcase your skills in design as you're trying to apply for the job. A big problem with resumes is the tense that you use. Anything that has happened in the past needs to have the correct tense verbs of happening before. If you're doing it currently, like if it's a current position or if it's a current endeavor you're engaged with, then your verb should reflect the fact that you're currently doing this. And as you've seen in the other videos, try not to go over one page. Most entry-level jobs, most kind of in-the-door jobs really only need one page, and your hiring manager is only going to spend 5 to 10 seconds looking at it, so that one page is what they're going to consider. Now, this is again one of those times where sometimes rules can be broken, and as you get further into your career, you could be asked to include your research into your resume or other additional information that would cause it to go over a page, but typically the hiring manager or your professor will give you more information on when this is appropriate.